Gina.
Brought to you by Donut.
Well, here is the Donut Critic, Benjamin Lee, and
He's positively giddy about these donuts.
you've brought us gluten-free donuts. How could that be any good?
That's true. I mean, I brought you in protein donuts last week, and you guys all hated them. Which, like, I get it. Like, the protein donuts are not good. And so, would gluten-free donuts be good? We're going to try them today. So,
All right.
So this shop that I brought you in, it's called Bismarck, and we've talked about this place before.
Yeah.
They've received an award in my bracket and at the Utah Dough Show. They're a really good donut. I've actually deemed them the sidecar of Utah. So why would they go away from their regular donuts to gluten-free?
And they've gone just totally gluten-free donuts?
That's what you were saying, right?
Yeah, totally gluten-free.
That's all they do.
That's all they do.
Why did they do that?
So, as they were making donuts over the last few years, they would have people come in and they would try their gluten-free donuts. His name's Chris, the owner, is like this mastermind, and he was just spending time just trying to tinker with it and get it just right. And people would come in, and he would get praise for his other donuts, but the gluten-free, people would come in and have tears in their eyes after trying them. And
because they haven't been able to find a good gluten-free
Right.
donut.
Or they haven't been able to have donuts.
yeah, I've had gluten-free donuts
years.
before, and they're either like biscuits or really hard discs that are grease-soaked.
Now, it remind me why why do we have to have things that are gluten-free?
There are people
What is
with
it?
celiac disease.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, and there's varying degrees because there are a lot of shops that say, oh, we have gluten-free, but then they mix in the regular donuts with the oil, or they kind of prepare them together, and that is really a big deal. And so what he did is separate those processes, and people started coming in. And then he finally said, like, people like my gluten-free donuts more. I'm just going to pivot and go there.
Going to make them all gluten-free.
And not everybody has celiac. Some people just have an allergy or an intolerance.
And that's where they could go to some of those other shops that have like the mixtures. But yeah, those that have celiac, they have to have that separated process.
All right.
And that's what he really has done. So.
These are very good. The texture is a little different than you would expect from a donut.
Yeah, so I say they're like a mixture between a regular raised donut and a mochi. So yeah, there is like some sponginess to it, but it is a different texture. But again, if you haven't had a donut for years or never had a donut like this, these are wonderful.
Now this fritter, so I've got, I don't know what this one is, but this apple fritter, it's just great.
Yeah.
Absolutely great.
Really good flavors. It's got fresh apples in it, maple on the outside. Yeah, it's delicious. Yep.
We have an old-fashioned,
Yep.
which I always like an old-fashioned.
Yes, and that's delicious.
And the blueberry.
I think that may be my favorite.
It's my favorite for
The
sure.
blueberry.
Now, this won an award in your...
Yep. So the blueberry that he puts in there is just super packed with flavor.
Yeah.
And then on the outside, again, it's the blueberry. A lot of people put so much sugar into blueberry to try to get that flavor out, but he just put more blueberry in, and it's really worked out.
You can see the blue cake inside. It's just delicious.
And then one of the things he's launching this Friday, gluten-free beignets.
Really?
Which is like kind of unheard of. But
yeah,
when you talk about the texture and when you put the powdered sugar in and it traps in that moisture, it could be one of the better textures.
I was going to say that's going to work. I think.
Yeah, because
I can't wait to try that.
Because you go to like some beignet shops and they're so airy. You went to Disney.
Yeah.
I hate Disney beignets.
Yeah, they weren't good. I had one at the Jazz Kitchen, and it was.
They are just full of air.
They're just full of air.
The bartender forced it on me.
But yeah, I've had the same experience where I'm just like, I don't love these, but I could really love a gluten-free one with this type of texture.
So the place we're talking about is called Bismarck Donuts. It's at 560 East University Parkway, across from University Mall in Orem.
Yep. And one of the big things coming up is the gluten-free expo. So everyone really starts,
Oh yes.
Planning for that. That's at the end of September, 27th and 28th. And what he's launching there too, this is a game changer, is a take and bake option. So they're the frozen discs. Then you go home, you proof them, and then you can either air fry them or fry them in your oil. Which is going to be like, you start thinking about the possibilities of like wholesale or like nationwide, because truthfully, I've been to San Fran, I've been to LA, I've been to New York, and I've tried gluten-free donuts, and I haven't found anything as good as what we have here.
Now,
That's
the gluten-free expo, is that just all gluten-free products.
There's a lot
all
of
kinds.
there's a lot of companies that are just gluten free, and then there are a lot of them that just have a gluten free line. Yeah, and they just go, they exhibit. You can taste and test. And again, like their donuts last year, they had a line just like continually because people were trying them and they were getting back in line to try to get them again.
Wow.
See, I've consumed this entire apple fritter. It's
Bill
really
will do
good.
that with a fritter. He'll
Yes.
just plow right through a fritter.
Oh,
Man, it's good.
No, but it changed my mind. And honestly, like I've never done anything that has made anybody cry like that or weep because they are so happy. And so just to think, this owner has been able to create something so good. So, everybody needs to tell their friends and family to
Yeah.
get there because this is something that I think is revolutionary in that space.
Now, tell me, in a gluten-free product like this, can you deep fry it? Can this be deep fried?
Yep.
And
Just in its in separate oil. that
Separate
isn't-
oils,
yeah.
yep. And so there isn't any cross contamination and
So I was
mixtures.
going to say that fritter had to have been deep fried.
Oh yeah, no, everything you're tasting right now is deep fried. And so like he does it right and he does his same processes, and that's the whole thing that I love is he learned how to make a really good donut, and then he was just like, how can I insert that gluten-free flour and make it just as good? And that's what he's done.
He's done an excellent job.
so this
Chris,
is
right?
down in Orem. you
Down
said.
in Orem. So I did get word that he is signing a lease in St. George. And so he's going the opposite direction. He's going south.
Oh, he needs to head up here.
I know. Yeah, I keep telling him, I'm like, come north.
I know a few people with celiacs up here. Come on.
There's a gluten-free donut shop here, isn't there? Somewhere close by our studio.
Is it Eats?
I don't know.
Is
I
it
don't-
vegan or gluten free?
Oh, maybe I'm thinking vegan.
Yeah.
I'll bet I'm.
Yeah, there's been a couple of vegan ones that have popped up, like Big O and then Eats, and they do a really good job. But I
Nothing like this.
nothing like this.
So it's down in Orem. It's called Bismarck. And because people are texting us. My son has celiacs. He misses donuts. People were saying, yes, this is great.
Isn't a Bismarck a pastry?
It is.
Yes.
And shouldn't he be doing those?
It's true.
Do you know why he's called his shop Bismarck?
So like he was doing Bismarcks down there, and
okay.
obviously like you can get things filled, and you can get it in different varieties. I've just brought you, a
okay.
few of what he's
All right.
done.
The Bismarck was also a German ship that
what I
was
thought it
sunk
was.
by a. Was a
We
ship
don't want to
was-
remember that, but
Well, thank you, Ben Lee, Donut Critic. Where can people find your stuff?
so go to Donut Critic on Instagram right now. That is the best place, and write and message me. I'd love to hear back.
Well, I think people are excited about this.
I made myself sick eating that whole thing.
Thanks all.
Gotta go easy. Thank you, Ben.
Thank you.